It's a highly concerning statistic, the warning that facial recognition technology used by the capital's police force makes errors in 81% of cases. Researchers, who were the first to ever independently analyse the system, say they have significant concerns and are tonight calling for its use to be halted. We're joined now by Rhys, founder of Credas, a firm that has created an app which uses facial recognition technology to verify identity. Good evening to you. Are we ready for this technology? Is it sophisticated enough to be rolled out?
Yes. Unfortunately, both sides of the coin here are struggling, and it's unfortunate news. The police should be doing a better job to educate the public on why this is needed. And the other side, I feel there's a lot of negativity and scrutiny on why this is being used. So I think both sides should do a better job. But absolutely, the technology is good enough when used properly.
But why are we hearing in this independent report that 81% of the time it's getting it wrong, the technology is failing?
Yeah, I think people need to understand how it actually works. So for facial recognition to work, you need two images to compare. So the first image, in this instance on the government watch list, is a static image. You'd have to understand or question the quality of that original image. And then the second image is captured using mobile devices on towers and lampposts to capture that image. That's incredibly complicated in a moving environment. In a static environment, it's much more successful. So the variables you have to contend with there are lighting, contrast, depth, angles. Once that image is taken, sophisticated algorithms then compare the two images by, in essence, placing a print over each face and overlaying it, comparing various data points, metadata, and underpinning all of it is a threshold. If the threshold is set to 100%, then the matches are unlikely because to capture that secondary image is incredibly difficult. If you lower the threshold, you will get a lot of false positives.
So, I mean, it sounds quite complex, actually,
yeah.
the sort of machinations behind the workings of the technology. But if 4 out of 5 people that are suspects are wrong, are innocent, then something clearly is not right.
Potentially, I'd spin it in a different way. I'd say 19 of every 100 of persons of significant interest are being tracked using technology, meaning other police and government agency resources can be used to find the remainder. I'd like to think that using this technology and being innovative has made that much faster. For every 1,000 people, 190 people are being tracked successfully using this technology, meaning other resources can be used as well.
But how are the public to read this report in terms of accuracy? I mean, it does sound quite alarming, though, doesn't it?
It does, and it depends how you perceive it. My view, as I've stated, is the police and the government need to do a far better job of explaining why they're doing what they're doing. I, for one, believe wholeheartedly that they're doing it to protect us, and we need to get behind it and encourage them to do so. The real difficulty is you can't do this behind closed doors, and you have to test this in a live environment. So in that instance, the police need to do a better job of explaining why they're doing what they're doing.
In terms of facial recognition technology, this is one particular area that we're talking about, but it's used for very many other things. Is it more successful in other environments?
Yeah, so we use it in many sectors that would surprise people. So we use it heavily across a state agency, accountancy, legal and financial services. Credas have created a solution to enable our clients to verify their own clients by using cutting-edge technologies at a fraction of the cost. The Home Office issued guidance on identity verification technology, where the issuing of biometrics is the highest assurance levels. So there's slight contradiction going on. But the difference is with us, it's in a controlled environment. Statistically, our facial recognition algorithms are very, very high because we've done a lot of research on controlling the environment.
Still quite a bit of work to be done, though.
Yes.
We're not at the point where we can trust it 100%.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But progress is being made. Significant investment and funding is being put into this. Collaboration is required between private and public sectors. And I'd welcome sharing our results on our machine learning with the police to understand how we can process that imagery far better.
What about the question of infringing civil liberty? Because when it's used, whoever is in the vicinity, they fall prey to being part of the database, don't they?
It's a hugely complicated area, and I'm no lawyer. as you know. But for me, they're doing it for a purpose, to keep us safe, and they're actually trying to identify people on a government watch list for a specific reason. So we have to bear that in mind. If you compare it to a similar scenario where police stop you to do a drink test or a breathalyzer, I don't recall everyone being up in arms on that. And it's a similar approach. We're trying to find and identify criminals to keep society safe.
So that the means justify the ends?
I'd like to think so.
We're seeing at the moment that this summer, actually, facial recognition technology is going to be rolled out at Heathrow. That's a different scenario again.
Yeah, in that environment, it's a controlled environment, but they're combining facial recognition with other sophisticated biometric technologies, like using CT technology from hospitals, as we're all used to, but in a real-time sense. But at Heathrow and other airports globally, it's a controlled environment. You stood in front of a camera, the lighting is controlled, and it's much easier because it's not a moving target. We have to bear in mind, as a UK, with Brexit and uncertainty, we have to keep up with the technological advancements and encourage innovation, but don't expect it to work straight off the bat. So
some time to go before it's perfected.
It is.
Rhys Davey, thank you very much for
speaking
to us.
Cheers.
Thank you.